Hello and welcome back to the tutorial to teach you to go from no experience to a published Google Play developer with your very own application launched onto your Android phone. So today we are going to go over Godot and making your app's landing page. So the page that first opens up when your application is launched, colloquially known as a scene in Godot. In the next tutorial, we will be learning how to connect scenes together and how to pass data between these scenes. And in 2 tutorials from now, we will be configuring our game on Google Play Console and Google Play Cloud and uploading the application to our device. So we are getting there and we are well on our way to publishing on the Google Play App Store. But first, we must get started on our launching page. Once we've developed the game design, what makes most sense is probably just to start on the level select screen. So this one's called W1 level select screen, and this is the issue that I'm gonna work on first. So I'm gonna come here and assign this to myself. And at this point, what I want to do is switch branches to a branch that represents the functionality of this W1 feature. So first, go ahead and do git status, and you should see nothing to commit. Your working tree is clean. So to make a new branch, you want to go git checkout -b, and we're going to call this one W1 level screen. Git status again, nothing to commit, working branch is clean. Okay, so let's go ahead and come over here to our Godot project, and let's make a new scene. We're going to make a new 2D scene, and we're going to name this level select screen, and Control S to save this, and it's going to prompt us to save it in some location. Best practice is to save all of your scenes in a folder called scenes, and we'll save this into the level select screen. We see here that this purple line actually represents the phone the application that we're seeing. So we're going to change this to a vertical orientation in just a moment. But now that we've got our scene created, if you come over here and do git add dot, this will add everything into the working directory. And then we do git commit and set a commit message here. So you want to hit I, and we'll say creates new level select screen, escape, :WQ to quit, git push. And again, you should recognize this command. It's making us set the upstream to the current branch that we're working in, origin W1 level screen. When you go git status now, you should see nothing to commit, working tree clean. And if we hop back over here to our Fluzzo project, you'll see this nice banner. So W1 level screen has had recent pushes 9 seconds ago. Let me move my face out of the way. You can see here, and you can go compare and pull request. Let's go ahead and open up this pull request right away, just so we can start keeping track of the difference between the main branch and our level select screen branch. We can see there's, so taking a look at it right now, there's really just a few config files, not a lot of code that we've actually written ourselves yet, but just for your knowledge, you can see here that these are the changes in the branch that we've made so far that we'll be targeting to merge into the main branch later. Okay. So we do know we are developing a vertical app, so let's go ahead and change the application to vertical. Okay, so to change the orientation of our game to vertical, you want to come here and go to project settings, and change this to 1080 by 1920 and go close. So you can see now our screen here has changed to the vertical orientation, and so that's all good. Let's go ahead and just click here. Let me move my head again. Let's go ahead and click this play button up here, and this is going to launch our application in the running mode. So it's saying that no main scene has been defined. Let's go ahead and make sure that this current scene is the scene that is launched on launch. So here we can see our application. This is what our application looks like right now. You can see Fluzzle is in debug mode, and right now it is just blank. So we're going to start adding functionality to this game. So our first goal here is we want to implement the level select screen over here. So at some point we are going to want to dynamically generate these buttons, these level buttons. But for now, all we need to do is get the functionality going. So come over here and hit add child node, and we're going to add a texture button. And we'll give it some functionality here in a moment. But first, what we need is a texture for our texture button. So where are we going to source our assets from? There's this great website called kenny.n1, and hop over to the assets and search for letter. And you will see the letter tiles. So checking out the Creative Commons license, there's no copyright. So you can make money on this app using these assets. You don't even need to attribute the work to this individual that's published these assets here for free. So just go ahead and go download. You see I already have it open here in the background. So what I'm going to do is I want to take this base letter tile, and if you want to use the font that he has, here's all of the letters already populated with the letters, but we're gonna use our own font. So I'm gonna take this base letter tile, I'm gonna go ahead and copy that and shove it over here into our Word game. And so we have a scenes folder. I'm also going to make an images folder and plop this word tile over here, and I'm gonna call it wooden letter base. Okay, now since I'm doing that in the File Explorer of Windows, you'll see that when I hop back over to Godot, we see that little importing bar, and it's now loaded in here. So for we'll call this level button, and for lack of a better word, yeah, we'll just call it letter button, and come over here to the texture section, and we can give it different textures for whether it's pressed or being hovered or disabled or focused. But really right now we just want to hop right into the functionality as fast as possible and just start developing the functionality. So come here to just the normal and go over here and go load, hop into your images, and we have our letter base tile. Okay, so now what we want to do is come here and add a child node, and we'll call this level. Well, we need a label, and we'll call this level label, and we'll give it the text of 1. And we can see now here that the text is really, really small. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and make this text area equal to the area of the letter tile. So what makes most sense for this is horizontal alignment center, vertical alignment center, and now we want to kind of beef up the font and different label settings. So come here to label settings and go new label settings, and double click on it to open up the different values that you have here. Hopping right over to font, let's just go ahead and see what 100 looks like. Okay, so that's pretty good. And we might want to change the color to something a little nicer. We'll be able to dynamically set this value later, but maybe we want color pick here. We'll color pick maybe that color and give it a slightly different hue. It's maybe a good start. That looks kind of nice. Let's go ahead and start with that. We're going to make it pop now with a outline. Let's give it a black outline and up the outline. So we can see that the outline there is this black outline here around the lettering, and also a shadow makes it look very nice. So I want to also give it a shadow to have a nice shadowy effect. So for the shadow, it's a little bit funky here. You see that the shadow is currently set to 0 alpha, which means it's not going to show up at all. So just go ahead and pump this all the way over, and I want to give it a black shadow, and then we're going to pump up the size of the shadow. So there, we kind of gives the tile a nice 3D effect. And there, so we've got our button, and now that I zoom out, it seems like we actually need to make the font a little bit bigger. So selecting level label, let's start just bumping up the font until it looks good. Maybe bump it to 150 and adjust the usable area here. Okay, zooming back out. Okay, that's good for now. So go ahead and hit save, and hit your start game again. And now we can see when we start the game, we've got the button here on our app now. Okay, so very good, very good. So now that we launch our application and we resize the window, we can see that this is becoming quite domineering. And so this is essentially emulating different phone devices here. You can see the values of the screen size up here, and so that's obviously a problem. So we need to fix that by coming here and going to viewport and making sure that this is in portrait mode as well. So closing this off and again hitting save. Now when we start and launch our application again, we see that now that the screen elements are dynamically scaled down with the size of the phone that we're using, all for free by Godot, but just by updating those two simple settings. So now no matter the size of the screen, we know that this button is going to be visible on the user's screen regardless. Okay, so hopping back over to the 2D tab here, we need to start adding some functionality to this button. So what we want this button to do when we click it is it's going to load the game screen for level 1. So come here, and first we need to right click on the parent node and attach a script. And you'll see this level select screen.gd file created. And again, it is best practice to keep everything separated. So what I'm going to do is make the scripts folder and move it over here to the scripts folder. Godot will automatically make those any updates for you that is required. And so now we've got our basic script here, and it's still not doing anything. So I can click this button all I want and nothing is happening. What you need to do now is go over to the level button and hop over here to the Okay, so what you need to do now is click the level button in the pane over here and hop over to node and double click the pressed functionality. So this function is going to trigger when we press the button, and just go ahead and click connect. So for now, all we want to do is just verify that that we have connected this function correctly. Level button selected. Very good. And now when we go ahead and play our application and we click our button, we can see down here in the debugger that our print message is being executed. So level button selected. Very good. Okay, so now it's time to think about a core concept of Godot, and that's the idea of reusable scenes. So what we actually want to do is we want this level button and level label to be reusable, so we can spawn, a whole bunch of levels. We can go level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. And so what we want to do actually is come here and make a new scene. We'll do a node 2D scene again, and we'll call this actually, we can change the type to a texture button. And we'll call this level button. And in the same way, we'll add the child node. We'll add the child label. And in the same way as before, we'll want to attach the texture to the texture button. Level label. And we'll save this into a new scene, the level button scene, okay? And what we want to do is, so we don't lose the work that we did on this font, we can come here and save this label settings, and we can save it as in a new folder, call it fonts, so that we can reference it here. And we'll have the same text applied. So if we type in 1 here, we'll have the same text applied. Let's just make sure that we're resetting the content of this area, and we'll have to redo the alignment here. Okay, so now we have this being dynamically set in a scene, and so we don't actually need this guy anymore. So let's go ahead and delete this. And now we're going to dynamically generate this value. So first off, we don't want every single button to say 1. So we need to attach a script to this button here. And in this instance now, reattach the pressed function. Print level button pressed. And now we need to think about what data the level button has. And so it has a level. And we'll want a setter. So function set level. It's going to take one parameter, the level. And it's going to level to set equals level to set. So we're gonna, when we spawn an instance of this scene inside of this scene, we're gonna call this level button set level button. We don't need this anymore. Okay, so let's see how this works now. Okay, so hopping back over to the level select screen here at the top of the code, what we want to do is we want to have an exported member and level select button, a packed scene exported member. So when we click here on the node, on the base node, we see now that we have a level select button here, and go over here to go load and then choose our level select scene. Okay, so that makes the, oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong button. We want to go scenes and go level button scene. Here you saw the error circular reference. I clicked the wrong scene. So now this level select button, this scene here can now be dynamically added in our game scene. So hopping back over to the script, this ready function is called when the node enters the scene for the first time. So when the node enters the scene for the first time, we want to generate a number of levels on the screen and add them to the screen. So let's write a little function that does this. So let's go populate level screen. We'll write pass for now. And it's always good to document your code with a comment. So this is going to populate all of the level tiles on the game screen. Okay, so you want to do var level button to add level select button dot instantiate, and then we can do add child level button to add and level button to add dot set level. Okay, and we're going to set the level to 1, a 1 string value, and now in this function, when it's ready, when it enters the scene for the first time, so when we instantiate the scene and add it to the add child to this scene, that's when this code is going to run. We need to set the level label.text equals level. So hopping back over to the level select screen and hitting play, we now see that our application is dynamically generating this one tile here. And now we see that when we click it, we're saying level button pressed. And that code is now over here in the level button scene. So we're dynamically adding this scene over to this scene. So we see that this scene doesn't have anything in our 2D editor, but since we are dynamically adding an instance of the level button to the scene, we're adding it there. So just to double check here, since we do have default text as 1, let's go ahead and remove this text. We don't need this text anymore. Go ahead and hit save and hop back over here and run. And we can see that our value of 1 for this button is still showing up. Great. So now we can use this data in the onPressed function, and we can say something like loading level plus level. And let's make sure that this data is being passed correctly in the debugger. So now when we press this button, we should see loading button pressed, loading level 1. Great, but let's go ahead and make it into a loop right now as we speak. So I will say for var 1, 2, 3. We'll say the same code up here. Go ahead and copy paste that and then fix your indentation. Sorry, we don't need the var there. So just for 1 to 3, level button to add. I have forgotten how to write a for loop in Godot. Yes. Okay, so for I in range 5, and we'll just say 3 for now. Well, let's just keep it simple, keep it basic. And so this is going to populate 3 buttons now, but we only see the 1 button. Well, that's because the second and third buttons are actually behind this. And in addition to this, we want to use this loop variable and set it in the add level. So I will keep this for 1 now to show you, but then we also need the level button to add dot position dot x equals level button to add dot position dot x plus 200, let's say. And so this is going to set level, add child level button, 200 times I. So for each loop variable, it's going to make it spawn just a little bit over. So now we see we have 3 instances of the level. And the problem we have now is that when we click each one of them, it says level 1, level 1, level 1. Okay, so first off, we need to make this just a little bit wider. So let's say 400. And here we need to dynamically use the loop variable. And we know that this function is accepting a string value. So we want to change it. I is an integer. Change this to a string and dynamically reference the loop variable. So now we will go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so perfect. So we are getting 0, and the way to fix that is, we can just do I plus 1 here. Okay, so now we got buttons 1, 2, 3. Very good, very good. We will fix this offset a little bit later, but for now, we're just focused on getting stuff going as fast as possible, and we'll fix some of the hierarchy of the nodes a little bit later and clean things up. But for now, we can see now we've got loading level button pressed. We've got loading level 1, loading level 2, and loading level 3. Okay, sounds good. So now we need to react to actually loading the level. And we know from our game design back here that when we click on one of our buttons in the loading screen, we're going to go ahead and load our game screen. So if you're catching on here now, we have our loading screen scene here that it's empty because we're dynamically generating the level select icons. We have our scene here that represents the level select icon. And now we also need another scene for the game screen. So let's go ahead and make the game scene and go ahead and hit save. Don't forget to save this in your scenes folder. And we'll get working on this next. Now is probably a good time to go ahead and make a commit. So we've got the level select screen, we've got some dynamically generating level buttons. Seems like we've got a little bit of functionality. So again, git add, git commit, add a message. We're adding a adds level select screen and level select buttons. Git push. And now hopping over to back over to GitHub, we see, and doing your little refresh, sometimes it comes up automatically. You see our latest commit here now, adds level select screen and level select buttons, and we can check the files change. So now there's a lot more going on, and a lot of these is configuration files that we don't really need to actually worry about. It's not anything that we would ever edit manually. These files, all these values are being generated for free, basically, from the values that you have set here. So it's nothing that we really actually need to worry about too much, at least for now. You see our resource, our letter-based tile we've added here, and I'm just looking for a little bit of code that we actually wrote ourselves. So here you can see the level button.GDscript, and this is the code that we wrote in the level button functionality. And a little bit lower here you can see the level select screen, and here's the function we wrote for dynamically generating the level buttons. So that's what you're going to be looking for in your pull request mainly. Okay, so hopping back over to Godot, we've got a really good start on our game, and so for the next tutorial, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working on the game screen and the game functionality. Okay, I will see you guys next time.